whoever's Kelly's critical friend, there's going to be 3 video clips. I accidentally shut it off. It helps to know about resources. You could be teaching Shakespeare next year. So.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make man of some other metal than earth.
I want you to be together. It is certain I am loved of all ladies, but truly, I love none.
Dear happiness women.
Oh, God, sir. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
There's a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
If you 3 will lend your assistance, I will bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection.
By this day, she's a fair lady. By this hand, I love thee.
We are the only love gods.
I want you to get together. I want you to get together.
Alright. So, after viewing that trailer, I would have students take a few minutes to write about some things you might come across in Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing. I would probably point out the words that flashed on the screen as starting points, and then ask them if they've seen these things elsewhere, either in other films or in other Shakespeare texts, or in their life. And then I have a trailer, well, a behind the scenes look at The Winter's Tale, which I won't play just for time's sake, but it goes a lot into the difference of color in the pastoral scenes versus just like very gray and cold colors in the more courtly scenes. It also talks a lot about the tone that you get in each of those. So again, I would ask students to write about themes they might see in The Winter's Tale, have they seen these themes elsewhere, and then ask how they might connect to Much Ado About Nothing as well. Because even though they're in different genres, they have a lot of similarities. And then what are some common elements you might see in Much Ado About Nothing and The Winter's Tale? So I will split these up just because elements, you can talk about character development, you can talk about plot devices, you can talk about colors or like differences in scenes or whatever, and just get students thinking about it. And then I would have them talk to a neighbor to make personal connections with each story, so that they're more engaged and start thinking about, oh, well, how might this theme relate to my life and how can I apply it right now? And then I'm going to introduce the assessments. So each student will be responsible for performing with a group one scene of Much Ado About Nothing or The Winter's Tale, and write an accompanying character analysis to show that they've thought about character motivation, relationships with other characters, and how the character develops the theme. And then the assessment or the rubric will be based on preparedness, group participation, and thoroughness of analysis. They'll also maintain a response journal, so they should have one entry for every section of reading. It could mean that it'll take a couple days to go through one section, which means they won't have to be writing a response every single night. I will do weekly journal checks to make sure that they're writing. And then the final assessment will be through the submission of the students' 3 strongest journal entries. And they have to have a strong evaluation of theme and a personal connection. Right. And then they'll do a student-led discussion where they have to create open-ended questions and really be able to propel conversation. And then assessment will be based on quality of questions, preparedness, and group participation. And then the final cumulative assessment will be a creative response. And they'll turn it in at the end of the unit. It'll incorporate themes, character motivation, personal connections, and it has to address both works. And there has to be some connection between the works somehow. This can take the form of an alternate ending, a Pinterest board, a Tumblr, a collage, a song, painting, whatever. And they'll turn in a brief proposal, like probably midway through the unit or something like that, and I'll approve it. And then each student will present his or her creative response, and then the assessment will be based on quality of work and understanding the material. And the reason I did the creative response as the cumulative assessment is to give students who are not very strong essay writers an opportunity to show that they understand the themes and can connect it to their own life in a way that is appropriate to them, and in a way that they know they can succeed in. And then it also goes back to being able to articulate their interpretation of a text in multiple ways.